Welcome into the Ringerverse. This is, of course, the Ringers Nexus podcast feed for all things fandom. We are Steve the Architect Ahlman, Jomi the Explainer Adeniran, Code Baby Chuck, the 24-karat closer, Old Man Van, he of the receding resurgent hairline. The Midnight Collective is here. I don't know. You got Arjuna, the Watcher, Ramgopal. You got Linnea. Freya O'Brien. And you got Kerm's here.
Oh no! Something's
we
wrong.
are the
Something's
Midnight
wrong.
Boys. Pew pew pew. What's going on?
What is happening right now?
Follow us on socials. Jomi, what's going on the socials? Twitter, Insta, Facebook, TikTok. For now, save Jomi's job. Go.
The socials are going great, man. What's wrong with you, man? You good?
I'm great. I'm fantastic.
You ain't never done an intro that quickly.
It was this is whatever. It's like put too much into it. Gotta get to the show. What's happening with the Wire thing on socials?
Oh man, it's going crazy. David Simon, the creator of The Wire, he tapped in and he said that Gotham is cooked, basically. That you can fix Baltimore. You can't fix Gotham.
Also, the O's need one more starter.
One more arm.
I don't know if you can fix Baltimore at this point. It's been a while.
Oh,
they still going through it.
They
are? What? Am I wrong?
I mean, I don't want to give up on a whole city.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not giving up on them, but
you just said they can't be fixed.
Here's the thing about
that's the local government's fault. That's not my fault.
Here's why what happened, what he said about, I love you, David Simon. But here's the reason why what he said about Gotham isn't fair to Gotham. It's not fair to Batman. Gotham gotta be fucked up because if Gotham gets fixed, then we don't need Batman. And we have to need Batman. So in order to get more stories, people of Gotham, you must suffer.
But now all modern Batman stories are just like, Batman, you're the reason why this city's fucked up.
So they keep the problem going so they can sell the medicine.
You have to, right?
Yeah.
Superman doesn't have any villains. Then there's no need for Superman. You know? Like what did Vision say? Our strength invites challenge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I get you, David Simon. I understand you, David Simon. I respect you, David Simon. But don't fucking come at Batman like that, David Simon.
Leave Batman alone.
Leave Batman alone. Batman's doing his thing. Prep time. Batman. So look, and another thing I will say about that is it wasn't whether or not Batman could really clean up Baltimore systemically.
It's more the dynamics of...
Can he get rid of the Barksdales, the Prop Joes? Can he clean up all those organizations?
Oh, yeah.
Easily. I don't know if he can. Somebody else is going to pop up. Look, we're now on YouTube. You can watch every Midnight Boys, House of R, and Talk the Thrones episode on youtube.com/@Ringerverse. Like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so here's the deal. You will subscribe to the YouTube. You will do it.
Is this like the hypnosis, like spinny wheel?
I'm telling people right now.
You will subscribe.
If you're listening to this right now on on audio, you're listening to it. I don't know. Do we upload on SoundCloud?
No.
That's all we want.
We're on.
We don't upload. On
do you want to be a SoundCloud rapper?
Wherever we get our podcast.
You been on SoundCloud?
You rapped on
before?
SoundCloud?
Not rapped, but I've had podcasts that I've been on SoundCloud before. So I've been on SoundCloud. So if you're listening to this, no matter where you're listening to this, stop and go to the YouTube and subscribe to it. We're putting in a lot of work, and frankly, the audience, you guys got to do your part. Go to the YouTube, subscribe, share it, do it now. Sick of it.
Van Lathan's sick of you.
Van Lathan, sick of it. Go to the YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube. Watch the fucking clown video. Yeah. Watch everything that's going on.
Hell yeah.
Go to the YouTube, do it now. Love you guys. You're free to come over to the house.
What house? Your house?
Yeah, they're free to come over. And if you guys are in LA, you can come over.
All right.
How you gonna tell me
drop
come
a pin
to my
right
house?
now?
Like
how many fans do you want in your apartment right now?
I went to the fans. I went to Applebee's with the fans of Higher Learning.
We were there.
Right.
Yeah,
so like
that
I'll
was
hang
great.
I'll hang out with you guys.
That was awesome.
But you gotta subscribe.
That's how you get
You
in.
will check your phone to be like, are you subscribed right now? I'll turn you away.
Program reminders. Yesterday, Min Edition gave you their Y'all Yelled About It episode. It's a great job. Kerm, you're growing as a podcaster.
You think so?
I've been getting into more of your poetry lately.
Where?
You've been posting it and posting different poetry stuff. You're in a whole poetry world. I just thought that you would show up and do poetry, but you're not, bro. You are a true poetry nigga.
Oh. Can we come up with a better name than poetry, nigga?
How about poet?
Poet is pretty good. Poet is it kind of works.
What did I do?
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have chimed in.
I called him a poet. What is it?
You don't like the way we talk?
What happened to getting to the show?
Yeah. Now you want to slow it down?
I'm trying to do it. Tomorrow, House of R will give you their deep dive into the latest episode of Agatha. Next week, Venom is coming too. Curious movie, Venom.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know what to expect. I'm reading a lot of different stuff about Venom. I'm curious about Venom. The last Venom seemed to be sort of unserious.
Yes, I would say that. Yes.
I would say the first one was also pretty unserious.
The first one took itself a little bit more seriously than the second one did. The second one was unserious. This new Venom, people are talking about Null and his journey and all of that. Mm-hmm. How are they going to go out?
Has anybody seen this movie yet? Like, in the world?
I'm not sure.
Venom 3? No, I don't think so. Not yet.
And it comes out next week?
I get real nervous when they do that thing where they don't really let critics see it until the week of. I'm like, come on.
We're let it be a surprise.
Don't duck the fade, yo.
I saw Venom rapping with Busta Rhymes.
That was great.
Yeah.
I wish that was in the movie.
Hell no.
I hope it.
I wish that was.
I hope Busta Rhymes is in the movie.
I miss stuff like that. See,
because they got little sins in the last one.
They stopped doing that in movies by the time y'all started watching them, but it used to be in the movies.
What?
That they don't have it as much.
Well, the star, like I remember, like Men in Black, right? Like they would have a song attached to the movie with the star.
That's not even what I'm talking about.
But it's just a cameo with a rapper in it.
I'm talking about it would be in the movies and it would be like somebody thing would happen and they would be like in a hardware store. They'd be like, "Oh shit, it's the Fat Boys. Fat Boys. Can you help me solve this mystery?" Yeah, we'll help you. They used to happen in movies like cameos by different people.
Play the
play old
I'm
Batman.
telling you straight up. Remember Down and Out Beverly Hills where Little Richard, rest in peace, just showed up out of nowhere. It was fun. That shit was fun to me, man. You guys don't remember it.
Nah.
On today's show, we're giving our instant reactions to the latest episodes of Penguin, Agatha, and we're also discussing James Gunn, Superman, and Krypto the dog.
And whether he's corny. Here's the thing. As fans, we do need to chill because I was just like, you were bringing it up and it came on my algorithm where I'm like, motherfuckers really mad at this dog.
They were so hot.
Like,
what?
It's
it was,
it's bad.
Dog.
It's
They're upset.
They don't like Krypto.
They going up.
I fuck with Krypto. I just think Krypto's having a resurgence right now. Krypto was gone for a long time.
No, he wasn't.
He was.
He just had a movie in theaters.
What did I say? I say Krypto's having a resurgence right now.
And that was part of it.
I'm saying he was gone for a long time. You want to disagree so bad. I said Krypto is having a resurgence right now, but for years you didn't see any Krypto. He was
You
gone.
were seeing Krypto. He had a fucking TV show on Cartoon Network.
Krypto was fucking gone. Was Krypto
You weren't paying attention.
Was Krypto in Lois and Clark? No.
He had a Cartoon Network show. He had a fucking movie.
Krypto was gone. And all of a sudden, Krypto's in three things in all the movies. Krypto is in the Teen Titans. By the way, that was great when he was in that.
The animated movie?
No. Teen Titans, the show.
Oh, the show. Okay.
The show. He was in Titans.
I wasn't watching that show.
He was in Titans.
He was in Titans. He's got his own movie, the Super Pets movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's in the big Superman movies. But we had a bunch of different Can you imagine if Henry Cavill Superman would have had a Krypto?
He would have leveled a baseball field.
Yeah. That would have been, he needed some joy.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to talk about what the Krypto resurgence is about and whether it's about dogs. People love dogs more than they used to love dogs, and we'll talk about it later.
People love dogs more now? What?
It feels like they do. And when I was growing up, nigga didn't give a fuck about a dog. And then Vic did his thing, and we were like, maybe we're wrong. So
alive.
Spoiler warning for Penguin. Beginning our reactions. Okay, spoiler warning. We're getting ready to talk about
the Penguin.
You're listening to a reaction podcast. The spoilers are coming. Here's the thing about Penguin. We're going to spoil it all, and then we're going to spoil a lot of other stuff because this Penguin gets deep into Batman lore. And we're going to go deep on Penguin today. So I rewatched the original Batman movie, and I like it more now because of the Penguin.
You turned a page.
I turned a page.
I thought we liked that, but okay.
I didn't like it that much. I thought it was good, but unwatchable.
Okay.
Something can be good and hard to watch.
Yeah.
It was not a great theater watch.
Sure. I remember you had gripes about just like the pace and it like the mood.
It's Kalika. Kalika hated the slow walk.
Well, yeah, she didn't like
walking up the stairs. Yeah.
To begin our reactions, we again bring you the Midnight Manifest, talking about all the need to know of Penguin. Chuck, take it away. Go for it.
All right, there's your Midnight Manifest for the latest episode of The Penguin, directed by Helen Shaver, written by John McCutcheon. We have a Sophia Falcone focused episode this time around. We learned that Carmen Falcone originally intended to hand the family over to Sophia, but after a reporter informed Sophia that she suspects Carmen is actually the hangman, she begins to have suspicions, especially around the supposed suicide of her mother. Oz rats out Sophia to Carmen, who uses his connections to send her to Arkham and pin the hangman killings on her. Then in the present, Sophia exacts revenge on the family by killing them in their sleep and finally taking her place as the head of the family. That's been your Midnight Manifest for the Penguin. How you feeling? Because this episode seems to have connected a lot with the fan base. Obviously, we got a lot of Kristen in this. What were your feelings on it?
I was worried because I don't like breather episodes normally.
We got 2 this week,
and it's like it. To me, I don't normally like breather episodes. When the episode stops on something so fundamental, like a big, huge plot thing, I could argue that the Agatha episode isn't, because it follows the strand of where the last episode left off.
But it does give us Billy flashback.
Right. Well, we understand how he became who he was revealed to have been. But I get what you guys are saying. I think it's probably slightly a breather. But this one really is a breather because we're looking at this gigantic thing that happens with Oz and Sophia and Vic, and then we go straight to her backstory. But I gotta say, this is the greatest breather episode I've ever seen of anything. Because it is. I got off the top of my head, this is the greatest breather episode I've ever seen. Of an episode that ends with such gigantic stakes, moving into the next one, and completely takes you into a different story. The issue with it is it almost never deepens the story. It almost feels like a breather. This one doesn't. This feels like now, because you've watched this, at least in my opinion, that you have such a deeper and more fundamental understanding of everything that's happening in the Penguin.
Yeah.
You have a deeper understanding of her. You have a deeper understanding of Oz. There are some criticisms. I don't think Mark Strong had a handle on Carmine Falcone nearly as well as what John Turturro did, which is another reason why I rewatched the movie, but that's a nitpick. Fantastic, gripping, riveting episode of television that really, really, really deepened the story for me.
I think I tend to agree. I think this episode did a wonderful thing of making Sophia like her villain arc, I think, is what's going to drive the story going forward. So we know how she got to where she is, who she is, and how she's going to have to face off with the Penguin that we believe is going to become the Penguin in the future, right? How does he knock off this person who just went and killed her whole family, right? After 10 years of being in prison. I think, to your point, what this episode did as a breather episode is really special because you're supposed to, after what happened last week with them driving off in the car, you're like, okay, how do we resolve that? How do we get to the thing? And only 60% of the episode is set in the past. Most of the action, the things that we're supposed to care about happen in the last 20 minutes. And it's legitimately excellent TV.
She also, the interesting part of her character, it's almost akin to a Joker-esque type of situation in the way her evil was created.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She wasn't someone in any way that was bad. It was the core of her that was good that made her a little bit curious about what her father was up to. And to see that be perverted.
Yeah.
And to see because people are afraid of her, but for no good reason, because she didn't kill those people.
Right.
Now she is essentially turned into that, and she didn't just kill a bunch of random ladies at the club. She killed her entire family.
Yeah.
So now she is way dangerous, way more dangerous than they thought that she was going to be, and much more insane.
Yeah.
And seeing her get to that point, especially in Arkham, I love stuff set in Arkham, it's really awesome.
It's that wonderful thing that a character can go through where they're painted in such a harsh light by the world around them. And it's the entire thing where, like, if the world says you're crazy, that character will just give them crazy, I guess.
Yeah.
Because she was forced into all those things. And that great line that she had when she was talking about, like, for 10 years men lied to me, and now I come out and it's all the same. And I'm not even the one that's sick. You're not the one that's sick. The world's sick. Mm-hmm. And I know we just came out of Joker Folie à Deux last week, but, like, this feels like a way better, like, philosophy of a character that the Joker could be than anything else that I've seen in a very long time. It's really, really good. And again, like what you said about a breather episode, everything that we've gotten from Sophia now is going to completely inform how in these next few episodes after what's just happened, now we know exactly who we're dealing with.
And I think Kristen is doing like a marvelous job as Sophia, obviously. But
Incredible.
It's so interesting because obviously huge change in 10 years, but she's also kind of the same inquisitive person she's always been, right? The scene with her and her father at the dinner table when she's asking him about her mother, how she died, and she does the same thing where, like, when she's talking to anybody, she has like another question and she'll just be like, yeah, but I'm trying to get to, you know, I want to understand this. She's basically the same person with just all that trauma, all that you know, stuff happened to her brain. And so when you see her at the beginning and she at the end, it's like, oh, I understand how she went from here, point A, to point B. It's the same character through all that nonsense. It really, like, informs the character, makes you feel like, oh, snap, like, I get how she got here. I'm more invested. I'm more into it. Let's go.
And on the Oz portion of it, it's interesting to position her in. She now becomes his direct foil, almost.
Yeah.
Because he essentially created her, maybe not intentionally, but maybe intentionally, by going to Falcone about her talking with the lady from the press. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he essentially creates her, right? Like, literally throws the acid in her face, drops her into the vat of chemicals, whatever, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
And then for 10 years, Oz, who is pretty unassuming as her driver, doesn't seem like he is dangerous at all. Actually seems like he's kind of everybody's patsy. He gets called Penguin. He seems to be not even somebody that's, like, up and coming. He's just literally just a worker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Chi-Chi, get the door.
Mm-hmm.
What movie is that from?
I can tell you.
Chi-Chi, the door.
Nah, you got no.
I'm missing it.
Chi-Chi,
No.
the door.
You can keep saying it. I'm not gonna understand what happened.
You guys?
I'm missing it. Scarface?
Moving on.
All right.
Audience, once you subscribe to the YouTube, go in there.
Be sure to
and
comment
tell
about
me
how dumb we are about movies, I guess.
What movie did someone go, Chi-Chi, the door?
I feel like I can just Google
Maybe it
that.
wasn't Chi-Chi. Maybe it wasn't his name.
I will say this while we're on mob movies. My biggest pet peeve, you gotta be smarter. You can't be fucking meeting the reporter out in daylight with your driver. Like, what is she doing? That shit happens all the fucking time in mob movies. Why wouldn't you go by yourself?
Maybe. It like, having Oz there was really odd.
I mean, she's
Why would you drive a driver?
She didn't think he was gonna snitch.
And naive about that.
Whoa.
The idea that
You had no idea that the driver that's constantly getting shit on was going to snitch on you for going to a reporter twice?
Really.
Probably not.
Because he said the first time they met, he's like, yo, we don't talk to reporters. So that, I'm not shooting Oz any bail, but he did give her a warning, like, yo.
He did.
He did.
But the 10 years that she was away, she's become a hardened criminal. Mm-hmm. And in the 10 years that he's been working for the family, he as well has sort of metastasized into this pseudo-criminal mastermind type of guy. And now watching them meet for one final salvo when they kind of created each other.
Yeah.
Such an awesome thing to, like, play out over the last couple of shows.
That's great.
Man.
I do have a nitpick though.
Give it.
She went to prison for how many bodies? right? A lot. And she only did 10 years?
She's white.
Well, what's his
Also,
face?
I'm not
what's
really-
his face from Sons of Anarchy, my boy? He said he helped. Maybe he was just like, he went to the judge,
Yeah.
I guess the thing that like I was wondering about the hangman of it all. So her father's the hangman.
Yeah.
So why is he strangling women and then hanging them? Like I didn't understand what that was.
To
all
make it
about.
look like they
Make it look like they killed themselves.
Yeah.
They were on they were on them drops.
But all these women were from the iceberg. Like I was like, if I was a reporter, I'd be like, damn, it's kind of weird how like 5 or 6 women hung themselves and they all worked at the same place.
Well, that's what the
happened.
reporter did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't understand why, as a serial killer, you would be like, all these women are going to die in the same way. I'd be like, that seems like a weird way to do it.
Okay. Well,
If you're in the mob, why wouldn't you just make them disappear?
no. Well, so here's the thing, right? Like you have the cops on payroll, obviously.
Yes.
Right. So you can just strangle them, hang them. Oh, they died. They were sad. They died by suicide. Oh, the cops cover it up. You keep it pushing. That's really.
Jomi knows how to kill.
That's
We
really
will not be using the like.
I just-
this
I
is
didn't know.
an evidence now.
Is this like a villain kink thing in the same way that like the Riddler has riddles? Is the hangman being like
He obviously has some sort of psychosis. I
Yeah.
would say that
It's
that's
not a
pretty-
normal. Yeah.
where he wants to strangle them and he's just like, oh,
I
we
mean,
got it, that's my thing.
I'm like, we can't like break it down for why he does what he does.
I was just
Let me tell you
interested.
guys, this is why y'all should be watching the interrogation videos that I'm watching.
I really do
If
not wish
you're
to.
watching the interrogation
No,
videos,
that's okay.
you would know that like I watched this one where they're talking to this guy and the cops are talking to him and asking him why he like shot up his whole family. And he's like, there is no why, I just did. And I was like, fuck. And that's when I started to like get into the different videos and understand the psychosis and I watch this stuff. So this guy, obviously, Kermah Falcone, obviously has some type of fetish or craziness to where he's looking for women to kill, right? And he's killing women that nobody will care about,
Yeah.
which is what they say.
Their deaths won't make the news.
Yep.
The deaths won't make the news because these are ladies that work in the 44 Below. No. The club is called the Iceberg. It's the 44 Below in the Iceberg Lounge.
44 Below is like the VIP.
The
thing.
VIP.
Yeah.
So he's killing them because nobody will really care about them, which, if you follow serial killers, a lot of them, some of them don't, but a lot of them would choose people who weren't really going to be missed by society at
Right.
large. You
This
see
is
people
just doesn't seem random. There's a clear pattern with this.
Right. And so when the lady finds out about it, then that's the first time that we see Sophia's character thrown into this knot of morality.
Yeah.
She makes it out on the other end of that knot. However, not unscathed.
Cool.
Not unscathed. What I mean,
I know, but I'm just
she
saying, like,
has a conversation
Yeah.
she gives into her morality, and that ends up becoming her undoing,
Right.
which is another larger commentary about how things going
her
on.
dad put her up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
nuts.
And frankly, I kind of love where we end with this episode because now when her and Penguin are clearly like now probably diametrically opposed, and there's going to be some sort of face off in some way. It's going to be her morality driving everything that we've now had to understand about her from this point versus Oz's personal ambition, because that's what the whole show's been enforcing.
You think her morality? She just murdered her whole family.
Well, no,
Well, no,
sorry,
I see-
morality from twisted morality from
Yeah.
everything that
Yeah.
she
She
experienced.
got put up, and so now she gotta. All right, bet if I'm that crazy person, I'm gonna just lean in. I'm gonna do. What
and
I
this
gotta
is
do.
her version of that
Right?
kind of justice. that
She
gets.
for her, she feels like she has to do this. She has a cause, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oz is just in it for the love of the game.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like I'm just trying to get mine.
You know what I thought about? I thought about Cersei blowing up the Sept.
There you go.
I thought about Cersei playing the game,
Not playing it well, but
just playing it, trying to
Right.
color within the lines, doing the whole thing, and then getting to the point to where she goes, fuck it.
blow it up.
Blowing it all
The
up.
only way for me to win is to turn the page on all of these people.
Yeah.
And to be honest, she tried it with Oz. She tried to use her dead father's, the specter of her dead father. She tried to use all of these things to make these people remember that technically everything should be hers.
Yeah.
Because she is the kid. She couldn't do it. She had to get rid of them all. There was no game
not
she
the
was going to
child,
play.
not the
Not the
little
child.
girl.
Which I always wonder about that. Question. Do you leave the child alive if you murder the whole family?
I was wondering, I was like, first, if I was a kid, I'm like, I'm not taking this random piece of chocolate cake and sleeping in a greenhouse with you when my mom is like, she's a serial killer. But B, I was like, isn't this the problem that happened with the hangman and her seeing her mom, which is just like, this kid is going to be like, I do think it's a little strange that you really wanted me to sleep in this greenhouse and didn't want me to go back in the house. I think you killed my whole family. But I guess Sophia's just like, who's going to believe this little girl?
I mean, because they all died of like carbon monoxide or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Kids have to be a fucking moron not to believe that something went real. Like,
I mean, how old the kid's like what, like 6 or 7? I feel
Whoa,
like you
whoa,
figured
whoa,
out at
yeah.
some point.
Her mom being like, do not talk to this woman, do not associate. And then that same
Yeah, but
woman
he's
being
still
like,
a little kid.
all right.
well, no. I'm not talking about in the moment. She's a kid, and the kid's a kid in the moment. I'm talking about going
Later,
forward.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
So,
definitely.
'cause I thought about this.
Definitely.
There are many different examples of leaving the kid alive.
Kill Bill, famously.
Kill Bill, famously.
Mhm.
Famously, I can't remember. This is also, by the way, the Chi-Chi the Door comes from The Godfather too.
Oh.
But like earlier is like, like in that movie is like, young boy becomes grown man. You can't leave when they're gonna kill Vito. You can't leave the kid alive.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I guess they didn't want to have the character kill a kid because we're supposed to have an anti-hero relationship to her.
Sure.
But I just thought about tactically, you created a.
I mean, yeah, she's still like, psycho
You gotta
killer
keep
for
this.
sure.
You gotta keep the cycle going.
But,
It's a cycle
like,
of
do you think
revenge,
do you think
right?
that's more of like an emotional ploy to be like, because the kid didn't like for story purposes, there could be a million reasons why the kid isn't there,
Yeah.
or the kid isn't an active
Well, the kid
danger.
didn't
but it
sign
makes
the
it a point.
papers, right?
I understand, but it makes it an active point to be like, she chose to not kill this kid.
Our boy at the end, she leaves him alive.
Yeah.
With the gun. He seems to be the one character that has utility that you can't just bump off.
Yeah.
Well, that's Carmen's second in command.
Yeah, he's
right.
underboss,
So I was
right?
assuming, I was just like, we'll see how they do it in the next episode, but I'm like, I'm not in the mob, but if you kill off an entire family, I would be like, all the lieutenants and everything, they'd be like, wait, why are we following you? So I'm assuming that she's like, I got to keep the number 2 in line because he knows.
They gotta listen to somebody.
Yeah, you know.
And also the relationship with the triads.
Yeah.
Remember, he had talked to the triads. They had forced him. So in order to keep that going,
Exactly.
because she needs distribution for the bliss, then she has to keep him alive. Let's go to Arkham. What do we think about the Arkham stuff in here?
I liked it a lot.
Magpie, rest in peace, man.
Magpie was fucked up.
It's tough, man.
Not long for this world, Magpie.
You got
The
your homies.
fork woman, I was like, all right, guys.
That was nuts.
I was like, all right, man.
that was crazy.
I was, once she had the fork and started,
it's like,
I don't. You guys know how I feel about stabbing.
It's
real
rough.
like stabbing.
Like
Real
she
rough.
was like stabbing herself up. Fork woman stabbing the shit out of herself. Very, very unsettling. How,
They had her unchained. Like, so Sophia was like, "Why is she unchained?" And she tried to kill Sophia. Was that like her pops? Her pops made the call. Was like, "Hey, yo,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
with
Yeah,
the
well,
fear
yeah.
of God, right?
that-
Yeah."
that was a
also,
hit.
Sophia, you're supposed to be a little bit smarter than that. When she's like, guys, she's unchained.
James.
I'm like, yo, just swing on her.
But she didn't have her in her. But Sophia had to become. What's another great example of a movie where actually Oz, the show Oz is, where somebody goes into, man, Oz, either you became a psychopath or you died. Somebody goes into prison and then they have to become hard
Right.
inside of the prison. It's not like Rorschach. Rorschach went in there right away. It was fucking over people. But
Right.
I was wondering what was going to be the trigger for her
That just set things off.
that just set things off to let her know that she had to harden up or become one of the psychopaths inside of Arkham Asylum to survive. And I thought even though we weren't there for an extended period of time, it wasn't 3 or 4 episodes there, she completely sold it. By the way, fantastic acting
Yeah, absolutely.
throughout the entire
Jesus,
deal.
yes.
But when I watched Arkham, I was like, she's in there, she's taking stock of everything. Everyone thinks she killed all of these women.
Uh-huh.
And then on the other side of it, she becomes, in a way, worse than all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She becomes more twisted, more damaged, And it's also kind of commentary on what happens to inmates when they're inside of a prison, how they come out a lot of times more dangerous than they went in.
Breaks their brains.
Yeah.
And like, I can see her, like, Kristen Bell's so good in this episode, but like when she first gets to prison and they do all of those things to her, just to get her in the jail and in Arkham, like her eyes are like as big as dinner plates because she's just like completely shell-shocked from everything that she's seen, let alone what she's going to have to do to change. And seeing that change in this brief amount of time in Arkham that's shown to us, but to know that it's for that long is incredible.
Who was the villain of this episode?
I mean, Carmine.
The system.
Falcone.
Yeah.
It was Falcone.
It's not the system.
It was Falcone.
Yeah.
It was Falcone. Whole episode changed the way that I look at the Falcone family as a whole.
Really?
Yeah.
How
Think
so?
it's against type, right? Think about this. When you watch all of this mob stuff, by the way, before we even get to this, how much is The Penguin a mob show? How much is The Penguin a mob show?
Not a lot.
You don't think so?
Not as much as we
No.
thought it was initially.
This
right?
was the most mob stuff that we got, and it wasn't about Oz, really.
No,
Like he
because
was.
in the beginning of
No.
the season, we are getting like your typical mob. Oz is the like Goodfellas guy on the outside trying to make inroads with the family, failing at it. So I do think it does think of itself as a mob show, but it kind of like deviates off the
Yeah, I
path
think
a
this
lot.
episode and the first episode are like kind of the most mob centric, but episode 2 and 3, especially 3, I mean it's all Vic. He's not really involved
Yeah.
in that stuff. So it's more like I don't want to say a character study because I don't think it's that deep, but it's more interested in telling the story of the characters than telling the story of a mob family, I think.
Vic, though, in that episode, is essentially learning how to become a mobster. He's learning about the price that you have to pay. He's learning about what you have to give up. He's learning that that entire episode is about him becoming a criminal.
Yeah, I mean, but not a mobster, right? Like
I mean, that's what kind of criminal he is. Though.
yeah, sure, but I think you can expand that, right? Just being somebody in that life where at any turn, at any moment, you have to make tough decisions, kind of like Heat, right? If you're not ready to leave what you got when the heat comes around, then like, is it worth it? You know, it's kind of the same thing.
The reason why I ask is because Falcone, when they sell us this mob shit, which they always do, right? When they sell us this mob shit, what they normally sell us is these family bonds that undergird this criminal activity. And of all the mobsters at the top of the mob, you normally don't see someone who is willing to fuck over their family to get ahead. Like in The Godfather, Michael has Fredo killed in 2, and it is the biggest cardinal sin that he commits.
Yeah.
And he never, ever gets over it. In The Sopranos, Tony will have anybody fucked over, do anything, but his kids and his family unit off limits, will do anything to protect them. In this episode, Carmine Falcone actually goes. This to me is the episode the show became a comic book show because Carmine Falcone goes from classic archetype of mobster to actually, I mean, unless you go like Batman movie, whether or not Catwoman is his daughter and all of that stuff, like actually comic book villain. Somebody that's doing something for no rhyme or reason, we really don't know why, right? Hurting people, the lowest and most innocent, and needs a superhero force to come in. She kind of becomes the superhero of this movie in a little bit. Like
absolutely, she inflicts that justice that she feels like she was wronged for, and it was like the repercussions of all of those things that she did. Killed her mom. Like,
and I think that's what you were saying. That's why she feels like she's on the righteous path. That's why she feels like
is
I'm doing
in
the
her
right
own
thing.
way righteous.
And it's actually interesting you mentioned Catwoman being Carmine Falcone's daughter. He tried to choke her too.
Yep. Tried to choke her out.
Yeah. That's his MO. That's what he's into.
I mean,
fucked up.
If this is a modern mob story, kind of, the thing I'm wondering is, I feel like the modern mob doesn't do that type of shit anymore. Like that Godfather, like I'm trying to pass this down, the head of the family, to my like son. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like in Sopranos, it's not just that. They try to.
Talking about the modern mob in real life or the modern mob story?
Like both. Where I was just like, I was wondering, I'm like, why does Carmine think that the only two people he can pass the family down to are his ain't shit son or his kind of innocent daughter. Because like part of me was wondering, I was just like, obviously Sophia is more capable than her brother, but she does seem more innocent when she gets to Arkham, where I'm like, you know what the game is. You know what your father does for a living. Like,
well, I mean, you said it. It's the family. You got to keep it in the family. It's like anybody who like has a hardware store or textile store. When you want the family owned, we got to keep it with us.
Yeah, but Tony wasn't giving AJ the keys. You know what I'm saying? He already knew he didn't have.
Well, he wanted him out of it. See, that's what made Tony the hero of the story. AJ wasn't up to the task.
I mean, he wasn't going to do it.
By the way, I gotta say something real quick. Speaking of pluck, I love Superman and Lois, and I'm loving Superman and Lois. Superman and Lois last night was the greatest fucking pluck from kids and teenagers.
Like great as in good?
No.
Wait, who was being plucky?
The fucking kids on the show. Lex Luthor is twisting their minds up. If you don't laze this nigga, like Lex Luthor is twisting these kids' mind up. They don't know which way. This is one of the best Lex Luthor performances I've ever seen.
Yeah.
This guy has Superman's family on a string. He is killing Smallville, and these kids are plucky assholes. Plucky fucking idiots with powers. And I'm saying, I watched it last night and I enjoyed it. I'm loving Superman and Lois, but god damn it if I'm not seeing some obscene pluck. Makes Hawkeye look like a goddamn Werner Herzog movie. I'm seeing like obscene.
Is there quarter flipping in Superman and Lois? Do they like learn to fly?
Well, here's the deal. Superman himself is kind of a quarter flip because, Superman didn't have like a Liam Neeson teaching him how to use his powers, right?
Right.
He's just
I was thinking about the call from Taken. Just like, do you know who I am?
Yeah. Oh, but you know who Superman did have though? He did have the hologram of his father, of his
dad. Yeah.
Oh, but he had the Legion of Super here.
He had Jor-El.
Yeah, I mean, he had people around, but not really teaching them how to use his powers. But these kids, the DOD had to teach them how to use it. You guys should be watching
the DOD?
Yeah, the DOD is in
the
Superman.
Department of Defense?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
They wanted to weaponize his kids.
Okay, so look, Lois Lane's dad.
Yeah, General Lane.
He's general. He's in DOD. Yeah. Okay, so they have a relationship with Superman in the show because, Superman had to. It was a great episode, right?
Okay,
and Superman had to tell Lois Lane's father that he was Superman, and he took his glasses off.
I'm him. I saw that clip on TikTok.
It's very emotional.
It was like, I'm him.
Yeah, and so it's ridiculous.
That was funny. Because all he did in the clip, all he did was he was
you're
like,
beautiful.
He had the glasses on. He's like, I'm him, and he's like, hey, stop pulling my chain. Stop messing with me. He took the glasses off and stood up straight. And he was like, I'll be damned.
Fucking ridiculous, but cool. Anyway, getting back to the actual show that we're talking about.
Right. Yeah.
So it in this sort of dynamic that we're talking about, Tony Soprano's protecting his kids. In The Sopranos, there are other people who take up for their fathers. Little Carmine was in a power struggle. In the actual real mob, John Gotti's kids took over the Gambino family. It still happens. The mob in and of itself is kind of dead. It still happens. But
no, I wasn't saying that it doesn't. Like, it's like, I think when I think of like the traditional mob, especially like Italian or whatever, of course, keeping it in the family. But a lot of our modern stories, which why I was asking, does seem to be like Tony is just like, I don't really want you for this. A lot of the mob movies are just like, this isn't for you. You get the cousin or the nephew. You're like, I don't give a fuck.
Well, I don't know if Carmine's son wanted to be in charge. He's desperately becoming a character that I want to know more about. Because I'm not so sure if he wanted to be in charge. And in this episode, he does feel like a useful fucking idiot.
Yeah.
He does feel like somebody who everybody is pulling strings on him. He was the only person that seemed like a plot device in this episode because he's
set dressing.
Just doesn't have any clue what the fuck is going on. That's kind of his thing, right?
That's why they put Joe Mazel on there. I mean, but that's why he gave it to Sophia, right? That's why he was like...
Because he knew this guy's a fucking idiot.
Yep,
this guy has nothing going on in his brain. There's just two rocks up there, and they don't even touch. So I want to give it to you. And instead of her being like, hey, thanks, Dad, I'm going to great, thank you. It's like, hey, what happened to mom? Why were your hands scratched?
It was actually such a great scene when she was like hanging on to him when he was about to leave the car to go to the club.
Yeah.
In broad daylight. But like it's for some reason the way that it was shot, and she's like looking up at him and he's looking down, but he looks so like insecure and unsure and unserious, and she's genuinely trying to figure something out like in earnest.
Yeah.
And it feels so like intimate to like talk to your brother like that and just like, yeah, we've had to lie about a lot of stuff, but like, what's dad not telling me that he's not telling you? Like, there's like a really great intimacy between the two of them, and he just like dashes it away, and it like kind of starts off that whole thing.
Well, but that's why it informs their relationship throughout the entire series. That's why she feels so bad when he dies. She's like, yo, they killed my boy.
Yes.
Y'all got to do something about this. We assume in those first couple of episodes, oh, he went to visit in prison. That's nice and sweet. But we know it's beyond that.
Right.
It's just him being there for her at all times, protecting her, loving her.
And it's more than just like, I need revenge on my mob brother, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it's like I love this guy. He was the only person in my family who stood by me when all this stuff happened. Y'all put me up for this?
Yeah.
And y'all let my brother die? Hell no.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
And I think that her brother being dead, I don't think that she could have killed the whole family if he was still alive. I think that he was probably the only thing that still made her feel like a Falcone.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows that he's dead. She's trying to figure out who killed him. She kind of thinks maybe they did or whatever. So I think her being able to detach herself, because everything that was going on was about her allegiance to her family.
I mean, no, doesn't she know at this point that Oz killed Alberta?
She had the thought, and then they started working together, and then they had the ring. The Maronis took credit for it.
Yeah.
I thought in last episode they were like she kind of was just like, oh, you've been working with the Maronis, because she already kind of thought, she's just like,
yeah,
but why were you there that night
like,
with him?
not like him being the guy that did it.
She had that thought, and then the whole thing happens. And then like it's like, yo, you got to wear that ring in the prison. You take credit for this. We'll get the drops thing. Yeah. So they're out on the streets telling everybody, yo, the Maronis, we killed Joe Maisel. I don't know what his name is.
But even if she doesn't know, I guess my point is, and I could be wrong on that, I guess my point is that she doesn't feel any connection to anybody else besides her brother.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If her brother was alive, things would be going differently.
Yeah.
And so when she makes the decision to root the entire family out, she's zeroing out her family and saying that all the tradition and all of that stuff doesn't even fucking matter. It's a super interesting decision for the character to make. Like, I actually could not believe that was happening. I will say this, though. One of my least favorite things that happens is when somebody is made the fucking king or the leader or the queen, and then nobody else knows. I hate it when this happens. I hated it when it happened on Game of Thrones, when Baratheon looks at Ned and goes, "You're the king." Don't tell me in the room by itself. Tell Ned to go get everybody.
Bring everybody in the room.
Bring everybody in the room. He did the same thing to her. Send out an all staff. What Falcone should have done, he actually changed his mind, but what he should have done is like, hey, this is the motherfucker I want to be the thing. Penguin, as a show, rave reviews, everyone loving it. Everyone's saying some of the best stuff ever. They're fucking with the Penguin. A lot of gas on the Penguin. Where are we at? There's one more character I want to talk about in this episode a little bit later. One of the worst cuck characters that I've seen, Powerless Cucks.
Oh.
Is
new segment
that's in Arkham Asylum. He makes me sick. But I want to talk about him later. But before we get to him, how are we feeling about the Penguin? Is the gas on the Penguin too much, not enough, or completely apt?
We're like, what, halfway through, right?
Yep, mid-season is just now.
Some people are saying the greatest comic book television show ever made.
All right.
Oh.
There's a lot of game left. And I think this is why this episode is so good. It's because, at least when I'm watching the first couple episodes, I'm thinking, okay, Sophia and Oz are going to have this uneasy alliance that at some point later, I'm thinking like episode 7, episode 8, breaks down and he has to like make the move to finally become the Penguin. And this episode was like, actually, no. That was only, like, we just gave you that at the beginning. The next half is going to be Oz and Sophia going head-to-head. And we've seen what Sophia can do. And that leaves the question, like, how's Oz going to get out of this one, right?
Yeah.
His whole thing's like getting out of corners. Brother, this is a crazy corner to get yourself out of, man. How does he do it? I cannot wait to see. I think episode 4 is an immaculate springboard for the next 4 episodes. I can't wait.
So what I mean, but what's the answer to the question though? Like what
Gas justified.
I gotta see it. We gotta see the end. Like it's a good great first half. You know what I'm saying? You're up you're up 28-3. Can you hold that lead?
Looking like a Cowboys game.
What a fucking terrible fucking if saying that you're up 20, you just jinxed the show. You like wait a minute. You said you're up 28-3.
It's a famous lead.
We all know
Everybody
what
knows
happened.
what happens.
We all
the
know
28-3 lead.
it's calamity happened.
Is Kyle Shanahan on the Penguin?
We don't know.
If Kyle Shanahan out there, I trust it. I trust that lead. Kyle Shanahan.
We gotta stop being prisoners to the moment. This ain't even the best Batman TV show we've ever gotten.
What's the best Batman TV show?
Batman the Animated Series.
All
I don't
right.
want to talk about that. Like that's
That's a comic book show.
Was really this is kind of like not a Batman show. I mean, Batman the Animated Series is like it's like comparing this to that. It's
Those
like
are comic
completely
book
different.
shows.
It's
Yeah,
like
but
completely
it's the
different
best apple and the best orange.
things. Yeah, it's like totally different things. I feel you. Batman Animated Series is fantastic, but like it's for kids. This is completely different. It's like comparing The Sopranos to Seventh Heaven. But it. So Steve, what do you say?
I think that we hit another gear in this 4th episode, and it really is taking itself incredibly seriously for all the right reasons to know that this is going to elevate the material. We saw it with it's very rare to see when a spin-off show does this, and it acts like it's its own thing. It's its own at bat, and it's swinging for the fences. And right now, it's nailing it. I think the gas is justified.
To this point, Charles, do you feel like this is a Batman show? You guys feel like this? You guys is Penguin a Batman show?
I mean,
Batman,
yes,
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
It's set in Gotham, Arkham. They're using the dressing of a Batman show. It's just a philosophical question. Can you have a Batman show without Batman?
Right.
But they've been doing this kind of for years. Like Gotham kind of did this. I mean, mini Bruce Wayne is in there.
He's in the show, yeah.
But it's not like Batman's popping up just fucking.
But I feel like this is, I don't want to say like the word isn't annoying, but they're not like peppering you like, oh, here's a little Bruce Wayne thing here, a little Batman thing here. Like
there's none of it.
There's none of that.
Well,
there's literally
outside the beginning montage.
There's literally none of it. There's no.
You see the flood. That's
you see
what
the
happened.
flood, but you don't hear. There was one mention of Batman where it's like, this guy's a fucking maniac. There was one, but they're not. At least right now, we're not getting. Hey, we got to go down to Wayne Hospital. They're like, we got Arkham, obviously, but there's not as much.
But it's not Arkham for Arkham's sake.
There's
It's
not,
very
it's
clearly
It's not
a
like
reason.
D.A. Harvey Dent is in this bitch or anything like that.
But you don't think that because as I've been watching this, I'm just like, that more seems like a function of the show and what Reeves wants to do. Because I'm like, this show does have a lot of Batman Easter eggs, but it's like characters that Reeves probably would never really touch in the main movie. And that's something that I'm like going back and forth with.
Yeah, but if you're not an avid comic book character and you don't know the Easter egg that is like the opening gangster story that Oz tells about the guy that he looked up to in his neighborhood, it doesn't matter. To you, it's just a guy that he looked up to when he was a kid.
No, more so what I mean though is I think I might be wrong. I don't know if Reeves wants this show to step too much on potentially what he will do in the second and potentially third movie. So I think that there is a reason why we're getting like lesser known characters or storylines that like kind of touch Batman, but if he ever wants to use Arkham, we haven't seen the most famous inmates. We haven't seen Harley Quinn. We haven't seen.
Yeah, but that would also kind of suck out the oxygen of the show and make it more about like it would just be a bit more about like a showcase of these IEP characters that we have.
I mean,
instead
this is already an IP showcase.
I get it, but it's the idea that like this is clearly focused on the good and enriched characters that it has, and doesn't want to shoehorn things in just for the sake of being like, hey, remember this is a Batman thing, like. We happen to be in Gotham. This happens to be in Arkham. This happens to be.
Is Batman's world big enough, deep enough to have a story set in it and it not be a Batman story?
For sure.
We gonna see.
For sure. I think so. Absolutely.
So far.
But okay. Well, hey, let's when we're on the podcast, let's have the conversation.
I mean, because if we go outside of the Penguin, I think the second Joker is like an interesting, where it's like the second Joker movie flopped because it was bad, but I also do think that it's like, does some of the like new shininess wear off? after you have the first movie. And what I mean by that is like people probably were interested in seeing one Joker movie. How interested were they in seeing two? I think people are interested in seeing a Harley Quinn movie. Are they interested in seeing 3 or 4? And I would be interested to see if like Penguin is like that. Is Penguin the type of show that they want to make this something that's coming back every 2 years and we get 3 or 4 seasons? Or is this something that is like self-contained, almost a miniseries? And I'm starting to wonder, like, once we get 2 Batman in movies, how much the audience want from this. Do you just want one-off stories, or do you want Joker 2, 3, 4, Penguin season 2, 3, 4, 5? Do you want to see a Gordon spinoff from the Batman universe? I actually don't know what the appetite is anymore.
Well, I think that the appetite for quality is always first.
Yeah.
If something is good. So the first thing is always, how good is the story that they're telling? No matter what universe it's set in, no matter what's going on. We've talked about, obviously, Andor ad nauseum. It wasn't the most successful show viewership-wise, right? But I would imagine that the second season of Andor will perform much, much better because of the gas that's been put on it, all rightly so. I think quality is the first thing. The Joker thing is different because if they tried to give us 3 seasons of the Penguin or even another season of the Penguin where we're going through another Penguin origin series, it's not going to work. Like if we're getting at some point, the thought is, even in Gotham, take fuck any of that. Take Smallville, right? Smallville is a story that's centered on Clark Kent figuring out his birthright, his destiny. How does the story of Smallville end? How does it have to end?
With him
becoming Superman.
It has to. It has to end that way. So people keep coming into Smallville. First he can run. First he can do all of this. He's figuring out his powers. They dropped everybody from the DC universe into Smallville. They dropped everybody in there.
They had the JSA in that.
But they had everyone. They had everybody in there. But the North Star is, okay, there is something compelling about watching him become Superman. And in the last episode, you get that and you go, oh my God, the story feels off. If that doesn't happen, or if you know that that's never going to happen, then you have to create value about why you care about Clark Kent in the 11th grade.
Right.
And Joker failed to do that because Joker abandoned the mission or let us know that that was never the mission. So then the question became, why are we looking at this?
I mean, but structurally, I think it is an interesting question just in terms of, can you have a Joker movie? Can a Joker movie or trilogy sustain itself without Batman? Because there's only so much of an origin story that you can tell before people are going to be like, well, when's Batman going to show up? And I think Penguin, where at least this season seems to be leading us, is this guy is going to be, we're telling you the story of how he becomes the Penguin. If there's another season, it becomes even harder because you're like, well, if he's the Penguin now, he's going to have to run into Batman. Like,
well, this Penguin has already run into Batman.
Yeah, he's already running Batman.
So what I'm saying is that, like, that's a non-starter here.
Yeah.
This Penguin was fucking with Batman in the last movie and, like, hemmed up by Batman and the whole thing. Batman exists in this. I don't know where the nigga is now. It would be nice to...
It's daytime.
It's daytime. We talked about it. So this Penguin's already run into Batman. I think, but not in the way that we're used to them interacting.
Yeah.
So the way that they'll interact when he is a fully formed gangster boss would seemingly be different than how it is when he is a middle manager.
And it's not going to be as visually clear, say, as somebody putting on a suit like Superman. Like, there's not going to be this, there might not be this big christening moment of, like, he puts on a monocle and a top hat and, like, he's now the Penguin.
He pulls an umbrella
because
out.
that would kind of suck in this world. That would, like,
the
for this
umbrella
show,
I could get with.
The umbrella gun is cool. The umbrella gun is always cool.
I think if some way at the end of this,
he gets an umbrella gun.
Penguin ends up getting the umbrella, I can fuck with that. Okay, so the
top
monocle.
Top hat like the Monopoly man is too far.
If they do the top hat and the monocle, I'm gonna fucking laugh. I'm gonna post that scene.
Gonna fuck with it.
If they do but the umbrella would be clutch.
Oh,
That's the last thing he does. He just pulls out the umbrella.
He just has because he's got all the umbrella, or at the end, like if he the umbrella actually would be clutch. How penguin-y can he get?
do you think we're gonna see him at the zoo at the last episode?
Man,
just
fuck
looking
off
at the
with that.
That
No.
would be fucking nut. Wow, we gotta have fun with it, guys. Like,
This is not fun.
That's a good idea.
Sure.
I'm just imagining like that scene at the end of Fantastic where somebody's like, "Hey, yo, Penguin, come over here," and he's like,
Say that
Say that
again. Yeah.
He's there. What if there's something he likes about penguins? You know, penguins, they can operate in the cold, but they can also swim. They're survivors. I'm the penguin.
The male takes care of the eggs. I'm taking care of the sex. And it's the family.
Or he looks at Vic. He's like, "You gotta stay with me forever. Penguins choose their mates for life."
Let's have the march of the penguins.
The march. Everybody, we're gonna march. We're
the
gonna
penguins.
march. Let's take the march of the penguins. Or Happy
my
Feet, a
God.
dance number.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
something-
Oh, we need Morgan Freeman doing the fucking voice.
That would be dope. These are the
And then
things.
Oswald Cobblepot.
These are the things. Like, I was like, just get penguin-y with it. Because right now, I will say, it's not very penguin-y, and I don't need it to be.
No.
But at the end, penguin this nigga out a little bit.
I would not be mad if he reopens the Iceberg Lounge. It's very classically icy. You know what I'm saying? There's
Little iceberg
penguins
in it.
waddling around.
He got real penguins.
If it makes it
Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, he did have real
Bruh.
penguins in the iceberg. Lounge.
Penguins with rockets on their back. Remember
Oh,
how,
bro.
That's
how
great.
Danny DeVito was coming with it? Danny DeVito was coming with actual penguins that was in his
I love the
game.
theme. There's like,
I like, bruh, this is the type of shit. Now that because really what they've been doing, they're going to do all of this stuff. The last 2 episodes are going to be crazy as shit. Like, they've gotten us into this world. They writing it like, we got them. Now you know what we need? Rocket penguins.
yes.
And by the time we get the
You
rocket
thought this was
penguins,
gritty and serious. Turns out,
fuck,
rocket
shot.
Honestly,
penguins.
I'll fuck with the Rocket Penguins from Batman Returns. That shit, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly, would you fuck with it if he went in the Danny DeVito route? He starts getting fucked up teeth, black bile, like just
That-
I like that shit. That nigga was tough to look at though.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It's rough. It's rough. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised second season they do was it in that movie Penguins trying to be the fucking mayor?
No, yeah, he was.
He was
Yeah, he
trying
was
to run
the
for
mayor.
office.
Like Max Shrek was Max Shrek had put him up to it. He was gonna run for mayor because he had come from nowhere. He was using his sway with the people to like fuck over Batman and the image of Batman.
I mean, it what I remember from that movie is also crazy because did the Penguins' parents like abandon that motherfucker? They put
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They
Oswald
threw him in the
Cobblepot.
sewer.
Yeah, they looked at him, they weren't fucking with
motherfuckers
him.
raised by penguins.
Raised by the penguins. Well, see, this is what I'm
That
saying.
shit was tight,
See,
bro.
see,
That
this
shit
is
was tight.
This is what I'm
Raised by
saying. This is what I'm
penguins
saying.
crazy,
This is what I'm
Raised by
saying.
penguins.
How did he
People-
learn to speak?
When people
Shout out
when
Gunter.
people tell us like when we watching the Penguin and it's too much, I'm like, y'all don't understand what we would go for in '92, man.
Yeah.
In '92, we would go for some
He
shit.
had a spiral on that umbrella and just hypnotized somebody.
Batman was scratching records. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, dog, that's my favorite moment from the movie.
Not the bat credit card.
No. Oh,
Oh, the back credit card was crazy.
Never leave the Batcave without it.
Wait, what's the light up shit that Michelle Pfeiffer has in her fucking
Oh, hello there, hell here.
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
something like that. I'm just like
It was said hello there, and then when she became
Catwoman, it was hell
possessed by
here.
cats.
It was. I've fought with people the
It-
entire
it-
time about this. About when she like dies and then like a cat sits on her and then she wakes back up. I was like, is that a cat giving her a life, or did she just survive the fall?
no, she
No,
got 9 lives.
She became the cats had a cat ceremony of
Yeah, the cat seance and then just
and
gave her a
they-
cat life.
She came back. She became a
cat life.
a cat demon of some sort.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's
so
what I said.
If
A vessel for the cat.
question, if Kalika perishes but came back as Catwoman,
what the
would you like try? You'd be like, hell yeah, Kalika's back, or you'd be like, this is weird. You're a cat demon now.
So, I mean, we gotta talk about it in therapy, right?
right. So you're a Catwoman
it's gotta
now.
be- okay, so I saw what happened.
You were pushed out of a like skyscraper.
You want to talk about like what happened? He's like, oh, the cats brought me back.
How many cats are you allowed in the apartment before you got to be like, this is too much?
I mean, my thing is this. Jesus is gonna get involved in some situation.
We're gonna put hands on her.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be like, okay, so the cast brought you back
You
to
bring
life.
the black church over here?
We gotta go because this
Bring
could
the
turn
pastor
into a
in.
whole paranormal activity situation.
Right, you don't
Can't
want to be
risk
woken
that.
up by a million cats in
like
the house.
we trying to watch Superman and Lois, and she's over there. You know what I'm saying?
Milk's everywhere.
You know, but
Can't have that.
you can't have that. You can't have that. Back to Penguin.
Right.
The Cuck character is the other doctor in the hospital.
Shades from
right.
Luke Cage.
Nah, nigga.
No, he's not just Shades. He's what's his face from Sons of Anarchy. Anytime he's in a show, he's about to fuck someone over. They typecast
He's
him
really good
all
at
the
that,
time.
though.
He's one
really
of my
good.
favorites.
Yeah.
Hey, take a stand, brother. Stand up. Either you gonna help or you're not gonna help. This nigga offers some of the worst help.
Yeah, that was bad.
You know his dick trash. Cause he can't commit. Like he offered some of the
What
worst.
does
Wishy-washy.
A have to do with
What does
B?
that have to say about, well,
He wanted to hit. Is the reason why
He
he
did
was
wanna
doing
hit.
what he wanted to hit.
They had that
But
scene
she
where
prob-
she was all up in his face. And I
But
was
she
like,
probably
brother.
she probably don't want to let him hit because she probably looking at it like your shit is trash because you can't commit. You're not gonna be able to drop the bucket. Like you gotta be
All
able
right,
you
we
gotta drop the bucket. You gotta commit
Oh
to
wait,
it.
my other question is just once again, Sophia, you just got out of Arkham. This motherfucker was torturing you, and you're like, you know what would be great? Making him my therapist. It seems a little weird.
I mean,
She didn't have too many friends at that point.
yeah,
you don't
Arkham's
got a
not a
lot of
high
Oh, no,
place.
here's the thing: the motherfucker's electrocuting me every day. He's not gonna be my therapist.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
not trusting him.
I mean,
That's
he
gonna
was
break-
like the one, like the closest thing she had to a friend in Arkham. I
What?
guess.
But your brain is broken when you come out of Arkham.
All
See,
right.
I mean, once again,
All
he
right,
was just
man.
a bad friend. He
A
just,
bad friend, a
I
bad
would call
therapist the entire
I
He
time.
was
wouldn't call that
terrible.
a friend.
I would have killed him when I got out. I'm not gonna
Sure,
bullshit.
yeah.
I would have killed him.
Interesting.
Like I definitely would have killed him.
He was in that thing. He was like, yo, I tried to do my, I tried
Nah,
to
he
do
didn't
this.
try.
He didn't try hard enough, clearly.
He didn't try hard enough. He was a bitch. And the reality is, he was an enabler of everything that happened to her.
Well,
No,
maybe
yeah,
that's
he was.
coming later.
Also,
Right.
are
Maybe
we
he
still
gets
doing?
his-
Are we still doing electroshock therapy? I thought that shit was phased out.
I think what it is just to show the lack of humanity from Arkham.
Yeah.
You know, like I think her dad made a call, just make her experience an
Motherfuckers was doing
They
that
got,
in the
they got some
70s.
quack doctors in
It's
Arkham
also,
too. Like,
it's not really tax funded, you know.
If you had to go to a fictional prison,
ooh,
would you rather go to Arkham or to the Raft?
I go to the raft.
Raft,
Oh, Raft.
Raft for sure.
Go to the
Arkham
Raft.
over the Raft?
Yes,
10 times out of
yes.
Nah, I gotta
I'd
tell
rather
you,
go
it's
to-
some dangerous motherfuckers at
Yeah,
the
but
Raft.
they
I'd rather
are
go to the
locked-
negative zone than
Yeah,
the
but
raft.
they're
Oh wait,
locked
actually,
down.
you want to know why I'd go to Arkham? Motherfucker, I'm like Batman puts me in. I'm like, dog, I'm gonna be out by the end of the week.
Everybody escapes.
You know
That's
what I'm
just
saying?
so-
I'm like,
That's why I would rather
They
go to
escape
Arkham
from the
than
Raft,
Raft.
too, though.
They
Not as much as
sometimes-
Arkham.
Not as
Right.
much,
but
everybody's
yeah.
getting
And
out of
normally when they escape out of the raft, multiples of people escape at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
something went wrong at the raft. You go to Arkham.
Everybody's out.
Everybody gets out of Arkham.
Security at
everybody
Arkham is that
escapes.
gif of that dude just going like that.
Are there baddies in the raft?
Are there baddies in the
hell
raft?
yeah.
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 You
Who's
got
in the raft?
Typhoid Mary. You got a bunch
I
of
mean,
Silver
there's baddies in
Sable.
Arkham too, though. Like Poison Ivy,
Poison
Harley
Ivy's
Quinn.
there.
Harley
Harley's
Quinn.
there.
Oh, wow.
Although
Yeah.
Harley Quinn went to the prison, the Supermax prison,
Blackgate?
with Blackgate,
Blackgate,
where
yeah.
would you rather? Okay, let's
Yeah.
put Blackgate in there. Would you rather be in Arkham, Blackgate, or the Raft?
Oh, I'm not built enough for Blackgate.
Arkham-
Them motherfuckers are like swollen.
Yeah,
as
oh,
shit.
yeah.
Blackgate is too much.
Arkham's a bad time, but Blackgate's just
Honestly,
Yeah.
we could
Prison,
pick any
prison.
fictional prison. I want to go to the one that my man was from. Who's our cute bear that we love so much?
Who you talking about?
huh?
Y'all, what? Who's the bear?
Paddington?
Yeah, Paddington.
Oh,
He
yeah,
had
they're
them
making
motherfuckers.
marmalade.
They were having
Yeah,
fun
they're
up in
making
that bitch.
marmalade
I'd go
in
to that
there.
prison.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's a nice little.
I'll tell you
cute
something
cuddle.
about Paddington. I'll kill for him. Like seriously,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Like if-
Paddington's my man.
right now, if a lot of people wonder how can you control Van, and there are a lot of ways, honestly.
Put a dog in a movie.
But one way, is true. One way, right now, if I got DMs from Paddington and Elmo, and they were like, come up to San Francisco, we got something, I'll go.
What's
I
happening?
will join a Paddington/Elmo
Well,
cult.
if you
Right.
all right, Sophie's choice, you got to save one.
Oh my God.
Paddington, Elmo.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Elmo. It's Elmo.
Oh, it's Paddington easily. Elmo's kind of annoying.
I rock with Elmo.
It's Elmo.
My favorite
Over
character.
Paddington?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
my dog.
Y'all right,
But
man.
Paddington's lived a full life.
We've been like this since I was like 3. You
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
This
that's
is
my
the song,
dog.
La La La
Hey,
La.
all jokes aside, I'm becoming emotional. I don't know what to do.
Just
You
say
gotta pick one.
It got to be
First thing in your head.
Paddington.
Come on.
Paddington versus Elmo.
Yeah.
Okay, what happens to them?
You guys, you are.
the
It's a
stuffing's
classic.
blown out
You
of
are
him. Like,
at sea.
like,
You can only this is Jack. You like. There's only so much room. This is Jack and what's her face Rose. You gotta.
So one of them has to drown.
Yeah,
like,
and
in
you're
the
watching
cold
them drown.
Atlantic.
You're like, there's only
you
enough.
can only pull one of them up on
yeah,
the
you only
door.
can pull one.
I pull both of them up and I drown. Because the world needs Paddington much more than they need me. I pull both of them up and I give up the ghost. I can't do it. I can't do
You
it.
gotta pick, man.
No,
You gotta pick. Because here's the thing: you're the muscle. You're the one who's gonna get them to safety.
They're all felt.
Paddington and Elmo.
stuffing.
They're gonna be useless. You
Yeah.
gotta ferry one of them to shore.
I can't do it, man. I can't
Cop out.
choose. I can't
Cop
choose,
out.
man.
Man, that's why you can't be
bro.
security.
Yeah.
You freeze.
I can't
Don't freeze.
I
Yeah,
can't.
man.
I can't choose. I can't choose between
You're
them.
shrinking.
Biggest
You're shrinking
moment.
in the moment.
Definitely
Biggest
shrinking in
moment.
the moment. Like if
Because then
Elmo's
now the-
brought me a lot of joy. I fuck with Elmo, but those Paddington movies make me cry.
Nah.
Like
They
every
do.
single time.
But bro,
Nah, man.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is so hard. I would have a pause. I have to choose Elmo.
Yay! This
I
is the
can't
song.
respect it,
La
bro.
la.
Elmo's
I
world.
can't.
Elmo lives.
I would have to choose Elmo.
Nah, because Elmo, and this is why I know y'all fake, because Elmo, he's made it. He's rich. He's a billionaire. You know what I'm saying?
He's
Nigga,
beefing with a rock.
bro,
I don't think he's
bro,
still got.
Paddington is one of the most highly decorated actors of our generation.
Yeah.
and guess
like,
what?
bro, like Paddington is one of the
world
biggest movie
renowned.
stars on the
Come on
planet.
now.
Paddington might be bigger than Elmo at this point.
Bigger than Elmo?
I don't know about that.
No,
Bro,
bro.
Paddington was
no,
out
no.
in Peru.
Dog,
You know what
dog.
I mean? Like, it's different.
Bro, Paddington might be bigger than
I
Elmo.
actually,
Paddington's
I think
not
that
bigger than
no,
Elmo.
no, no.
Bro,
I think
Paddington
this-
might be bigger than
I think
Elmo
this
right
might
now.
be like
Elmo
a Michael
tickle
Jordan
me,
versus
Elmo and
Messi
shit,
situation.
Dog, bro, that nigga
Bigger
Paddington
sport.
is on, dog.
Yeah.
Bro,
More prouder athlete.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, Paddington's for the people, man. Paddington's out there all over the world.
Yeah.
You know
I
what I'm
will say
saying?
this.
that
Have y'all,
Paddington shit made $282 million, dog. Coming back. This
here's
shit
the
is
thing,
crazy.
guys. Paddington did put me on a marmalade. Marmalade's good as fuck.
Marmalade's great.
I've never had marmalade, but I saw the movie. I'm like, damn, this shit can't be that good. Fucking Paddington's going crazy. And then I had marmalade for the first time. I was like,
You ever
this
try
yeah.
to make it yourself?
What does it taste like?
wait, you've never had marmalade?
I've
Orange
never had
marmalade. Just oranges.
I never had
Yeah.
it.
You got to squeeze the oranges really hard. You got to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
that pectin.
You got to get the pectin.
Gotta
There's
get
a
the
lot of.
pectin out.
Here's the thing. I'm not. It seems very complicated.
It's an elite dessert.
It's not. I mean, it's not that complicated. It just takes a while because you got to like boil out
Yeah.
all the liquid and stuff to get it like real jammy and stuff. And really like, if you want pulp in there, right, you got to like add some of that to get that pectin. I'm
Also,
saying,
I don't like those
squeeze it out,
super
but-
sugary marmalade. I
That's
like
it,
something
that's
that's
what it
sugary,
is.
but you still get the taste.
You need
We're gonna
to-
bring
not
in some
too rich.
marmalade for
I'll
Vin.
have it. I'll eat
Yeah.
it.
Oh, get some bread.
I'm,
just
I'm,
Yeah,
you guys
man.
know,
with some butter and some marmalade.
I'm feeling very vulnerable right now, just to be honest with you.
All right,
with
here's
this
it.
whole Paddington.
What we
talk.
need
I
to
feel
do,
bad.
what would the draft be with Paddington and Elmo? What are they? What characters?
Lovable, cutest characters, like
Lovable character
a
draft?
team lovable draft. You got Elmo, you got Snoopy, you got Paddington.
Oh, Snoopy.
You got like a
But do
lovable.
we like characterize it like Muppet, dog,
Is it an
Muppet,
animal
Muppet,
or is it
dog.
a
Ooh.
well, Paddington is
a bear?
a bear,
bear?
but he's animated.
Anime.
Well, we got Pooh Bear
Yeah.
as well.
yeah.
Love
Yeah.
myself a Pooh Bear.
Oh, I
Tigger.
love.
Tigger.
Tigger.
Damn.
The question is, this is the question: if you're doing a lovable characters draft, who you draft first, Pooh or Tigger?
Oh,
It's
it's
Pooh.
Tigger. It's Tigger.
No,
It's
Pooh.
Piglet.
I don't fuck
No,
with Tigger.
I-
Actually,
no,
you know who it is?
no.
I'll fuck with Eeyore. I'm an Eeyore.
Eeyore,
I'm
yeah.
Eeyore, my man.
Eeyore.
Eeyore.
Heavy.
I would kill for
Nobody
Eeyore.
mess with the rabbit.
I fuck with
Nobody
all.
No, fuck the rabbit.
I
Nobody
fuck
mess
with
with the
No,
rabbit.
actually,
all-
I get the rabbit's right. People
What?
fuck with him.
What?
People fuck with rabbit too much.
You the feds,
Nah,
bro.
you
Get the
the
fuck out of here,
police.
man.
Typical
The
white man
rabbit?
behavior.
Hey, you know what's funny?
Invading his
Typical white
garden,
man
stealing
behavior.
his shit.
Can I be honest with you? You know what? I never thought about it. You an old Christopher Robin looking nigga.
Look like Christopher Robin.
I never thought about it, bro. You are
Skipping on
bro,
logs.
bro,
yeah.
you are the type of
So when I'm 50,
bro, you are the type of guy that would have a cartoon bear living with you and helping him out and the whole nine.
So when I'm 45, I become Ewan McGregor, and who's just a menace in my life.
Jesus Christ. What's the Thousand Acre Woods? Stephen, the Thousand Acre Woods.
100 Acre Woods.
Hold on real quick.
Oh, of course you would know what it's called, Steve.
You know what we could do? You know what we could also do? We could also do a draft of white boys that take care of cartoon pets.
Oh,
Shaggy's going number one.
Shaggy gotta go number one.
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown's
Shaggy,
up there.
Charlie Brown, Garfield's Dave.
John.
Well, that's John is from the Penguins.
No. John's from Garfield.
Yeah.
Wait, who are the Penguins? I call them the Penguins. Who are the
Peanuts?
The Chipmunks.
The Chipmunks.
That's
Dave. That's Dave.
That's Dave.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have to build.
You are all of them niggas combined.
Yeah. You are Dave.
I'm just like, oh no, whenever they do something wrong. Yeah.
Because if
Alvin.
all right, Brian. Because if I ever come home and it's talking chipmunks in my crib, we going to the black church. But I can see you.
You're not gonna make billions of dollars making them sing?
Fuck no.
Oh, you are such a
Rescue
liar.
Rangers?
If I have 3 singing fucking chipmunks, bro.
That Christmas album is like Diamond at this point.
Here's the thing. The chipmunks, Dave wasn't really managing them right. I'm Joe Jackson. We hitting the chipmunks.
You gonna beat the fucking...
You're putting them in rat traps? You just...
I want greatness for Alvin.
Calma.
Alvin's about to... Bro, if we're going to be real...
Wow.
Jesus.
Alvin never... The problem is the reason Dave always had to yell at Alvin because he was the most talented, but he was always fucking around. And I'm like, bro, you need to lock the fuck in.
He didn't have anger issues. Alvin made him angry, and that was the issue. That was
So let me... If you are... You know what we should do for Halloween?
We should be
We should be...
And I'm
Alvin.
Dave.
should be Dave.
Simon.
So you gotta have a sweater with like an A and then a...
I gotta...
That's a good costume.
That's funny. That's kind of funny.
Costume, bro.
That's funny.
First of all, we
man.
would get ran off.
And then
we would get ran off.
The racial dynamics on that is
Bro,
crazy.
we would be
That's
on-
a crazy
we would
look.
be like-
We would get ran.
We'd be on
off.
all
If we
over
really
TikTok.
wanted to trigger people.
We'd be all over Twitter.
Alvin, Simon, and Theodore.
Oh my God.
I'll do it.
And every time you talk on the mic, you have that high pitched filter on you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Penguin's good.
Penguin's great.
Penguin's good.
All right, Agatha.
Midnight Manifest?
Oh, we don't do a Midnight Manifest for the second one. But I could give them for this episode. Once again, we have a breather episode. We're focusing on Billy. We see essentially how after the events of WandaVision, Kaplan died, but our Billy Maximoff goes into his body, and we see essentially why he's so basically obsessed with Agatha and him trying to come to terms with, am I Billy? Am I William? Who am I? And then by episode's end, we see that now Agatha and Billy are working together again to get to the end of the Witch's Road because Billy wants to find out where Tommy is. Now, my first question to y'all is, I know the comic book version of this. I was confused because Agatha makes it seem like Billy does some type of forbidden magic, which gets him in that body.
Yeah.
Tommy's not a magician, but Billy thinks he's still out there. So how does he, like, do you get what I'm saying?
There's still a lot of questions.
Well, so there could be a situation to where is this. If Tommy's soul is displaced somewhere, if he's in the ether of something, perhaps Billy will do the incantation or the witchy work magic.
He's going to do the forbidden spell that he didn't know he was doing.
To get his brother back because it was second nature with him because he is a witchy creature.
A witchy creature?
A witchy creature. I guess I don't
He's
know.
not a creature. He's just a witch.
He's
warlock?
A witch, warlock, witch, creature, witch. Yeah. I really enjoyed this fucking episode of the show.
This wasn't the pluck. This was a plucky episode, bro.
It was plucky, but it had enough. Let me tell you what you're right, by the way. Let me tell you what the antidote to pluck is. Danger.
Yes.
Danger is the antidote to pluck, right?
Or it's the balance.
Right. Danger is the antidote to pluck. When there's just a plucky kid fucking complaining and doing all of that stuff, I don't like it. But like when with the danger,
I'm the bar mitzvah. After they got past that was a little too plucky.
That was plucky.
That once they got out of that,
it was a big moment.
I'll be honest with you. I just have to say this. This was a really good episode of Agatha.
Yeah.
Maybe the best episode of Agatha.
No, I'm like locked in now
And
after this.
Agatha was barely in it.
Well, so
Oh,
can
no,
I?
Here,
no,
hold
no,
on,
hold
hold on.
on. The best part of it's a good episode, but the
best
episode
part of it is with go.
Exactly.
So-
Right.
Go say what you're saying.
the best part of the episode is that conversation between her and Billy,
between her and Billy at the end.
and she's like
Oh
covered
my
on
God.
the goo, but Catherine Hahn is doing her thing, man.
Dude, this was the best.
Evil, just like completely unserious. You're looking for your brother, Toby, Tommy. That's what I said.
That's what I said. What are you talking
Like
about?
just having
Also,
like a blast.
Why should Agatha know the fucking name of this kid? I'm just like, Billy, back the fuck up. Y'all were alive for like a day.
Bro, she's so snarky, so smarmy. Like, oh, you looking for your mommy? Like dog. Like,
And it's like she'll immediately become, because like, again, him being the protagonist of just this one episode, reframing her immediately coming out of the muck, knowing fully who he is now, finally.
Yeah.
Like, mask off for both people involved. Now she'll be this cackling, mustache twirling villain that
Quite
we've known her to
literally.
be. Yeah, no, literally. She's having so much fun and nailing this characterization. And Billy's like he knows he can kind of hold his own with her, but like he's still not 100%.
yeah.
And I think like this, like kind of like he's standing on his tippy toes next to her, magic wise, wanting to try to like make sure that he has an upper hand, and they still got to like have this uneasy alliance that is like really compelling.
Yeah.
And their chemistry is actually incredible.
This episode was funny.
Yeah.
This episode was like scary. It had the accident at the beginning of it, and watching those parents go through that. There
Evan
was
Peters,
drama
shout
in it.
out.
Like Ralph Boner
Ralph
in that.
Boner,
Ralph
back.
Boner. This was a really good episode of television.
So
like
can I ask you
legitimately
guys
a good
this?
episode of the show.
So for all these weeks, we've been kind of talking about how Agatha exists as a show that's not necessarily tied as much to the MCU. And I thought, is it weird that to me, the most successful episode, which to me is this episode, to me was interesting because it was connecting back to WandaVision. So like that's
what I was saying.
That is the thing where I was just like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for. Like watching Billy have to figure out what is magic, what happened in Westview, what does it mean to be in a new body, what is my connection to Agatha and all this stuff. I was like, this is kind of what I've been waiting. Like,
No, and that's what I've been saying. And by the way, I want to clarify something for the audience.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm talking about the bigger picture of the MCU or whatever, I'm just talking about answering questions that were seemingly fundamental questions, okay?
Yeah.
That's all I'm talking about. A show can create its own questions and then answer them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what it's supposed to do,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
But when you are in a world and big questions are asked at the beginning of lore for characters, when we're talking about Wanda and her kids, Westview, there are a lot of big questions out there that we still don't know the answers to. We didn't know if these kids were fucking real. Like, Multiverse of Madness did not really answer that question. We didn't know why they were real. We didn't know how their creation
where she
came
was
about,
trying to find them
or where
from.
we didn't know
Yeah.
any of that
Yeah.
stuff. So what I'm saying is, if we're gonna tap back into that world, I don't think it's unfair to ask the show to answer some of those questions that were posed in other Marvel things
also,
before.
to be fair, to me, those are the most fascinating questions because it's like, it goes back to story, which is, well, is the question, who is the teen, that interesting? Not really. The question is, do I exist?
Why is the team?
Why is
Why
the
is the
team?
team?
Yeah,
And what happened to my
yeah.
parents? Like, do I have a soul? Am I two souls in one body? I'm like, all of that stuff is way more interesting than
And
being
also-
like, who is this boy?
And also coming from the like twisted logic that Agatha gives him, where he's just like, don't feel bad about what you did. You were innovative. You were a good witch. It makes you one. You took this like husk of a vessel that was empty and you used it. And like she's already trying to like coerce him into like thinking like that they're on the same side or like think the same way, to not make him feel shame for wanting to do these seemingly evil things.
Yeah.
This is the TV show.
Yeah.
The TV show. We've had the Witch's Road. We've seen what witchiness does to people. We've seen that witchiness can be bad, but we also see that it can be people's life's work. We've seen different versions of witches, but the show is essentially asking questions about the nature of being a witch. What does it mean? Does it naturally make you bad?
Mm-hmm.
Teen Tommy
Billy?
Billy Wiccan is hoping that it doesn't. Not sure about it. Agatha is fighting her nature. She's at war with her nature. We've seen the good part of her, and we've seen her kind of descend into it. And it seems the more he finds himself, the more she finds herself, which is the witch that she's always been, just fucking over people.
Yeah.
That, to your point, is interesting. I watched the whole show. I've been watching Agatha, and I've been enjoying Agatha.
Mm-hmm.
But this episode, I watched Agatha, and I was like, they're doing,
Right?
they're doing something.
And it's that great thing because this is kind of, it feels odd to me now, but like this is kind of the first like really good clicking and intermingling of former MCU properties with each other. Like, even though it's a direct correlation to WandaVision and to a slightly different way, Multiverse of Madness, like this is kind of the secret sauce that makes the MCU really good.
Yeah.
Is when we had something prior that we're like, oh, so that's what happened to Billy and Tommy.
It also
like his brother is just like out in the ether somewhere, and he's trying to find him from like all these years ago. Like that's kind of like amazing. That's what we had back in the good old days of the MCU.
It makes Multiverse of Madness really funny because if Wanda would have just waited like 5 minutes.
Yeah, she would have found.
Yeah. Oh, that's my son right there. Oh, sorry, what's up? Sorry. No.
Also, does everybody know that Wanda's dead?
I assume so.
Is she though?
Well, they say
it, and I'm just like, wait, does everybody know what happened in Multiverse of Madness?
Well, with Catherine Hahn, like in the first episode of Agatha, she mentions Wanda's death and then legitimately winks her eye.
Mm-hmm.
I find it funny they're still using that same excuse from Iron Man, where it's like it was a training exercise.
Gone wrong.
Wrong. Oh, it's Westview was a training exercise gone wrong. I think it's pretty silly. I do think everybody knows that Wanda's dead. I mean, he was writing the list, right? Wanda gone, Vision dismantled, and Tommy, question mark. Like what happened?
I'm not gonna hold y'all. If my dad was the Vision, I'd have way more questions. Like if I'm Billy, I'm just like,
yeah, what's my...
I'm just like, my dad was one of the most powerful beings and an android.
That would be the question?
Yeah, the powerful beings
my
is
question
like
would be
secondary.
My question would be like, can my dad produce nut? My dad's a fucking robot.
I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, how does that work?
I have a headcanon how I think it would work.
Give it to me.
Here's the thing. Couldn't Wanda just give my man Vision a penis and spiritual magical semen?
It's fair.
Could Vision make his own penis? He has the Mind Stone.
He could make his own penis. But here's the thing. What I'm thinking is like, he can't make the organic matter that would need to make the kids.
Could you store said organic matter inside of...
Okay,
Vision?
What can the Mind Stone not do? Because the Mind Stone seems like it could give Wanda her powers. So essentially, if Wanda got her powers from the Mind Stone,
she could get her kids from the Mind Stone.
From and gives a penis to Vision.
First of all, hold on.
Vision essentially
Are the
gave
kids
a penis to himself.
Is the Mind Stone the actual father?
Yeah. Cut out the penis middleman. Make the Mind Stone the dad.
You could.
Yeah.
But the Mind Stone, okay, Vision doesn't have the Mind Stone anymore. So when Vision comes back, will the kids be like, and the Mind Stone is destroyed?
I think we're overthinking it.
So
No, I think we're thinking about it just
well,
right
first
now.
First of all, you know what I think we're doing? Your job.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I think.
We're doing is cooking.
I think what we're doing is your job.
You're
supposed to have the questions. You're supposed to have the answers.
That's what I'm saying.
We're supposed to ask you.
You don't have the answers,
how
Sway.
does Vision create sperm? And you're supposed to give us a dissertation about where the genetic material came from.
I don't think it does. I think that Wanda created those two children because her husband is Vision, or she and Vision had that kind of relationship like that. He's just the dad.
Her and Vision were fucking. What are you talking
about? They had
about?
sex.
I'm sure.
Many
I'm sure.
times.
But I don't think he has the...
What the mechanics of it are.
Exactly, right? I don't think he has the predisposition.
Can you become emotionally pregnant? Can you get pregnant
That
with
is the
love?
When you are the most powerful magic user, maybe. And that's enough to have two children who literally do not actually exist.
So let me ask you a question then. Do you have to get Vision's permission and consent before you make kids on his behalf?
I think
before you just create kids.
you gotta remember,
does Vision claim the kids?
Because what I'm saying, before you make kids and just say I'm their daddy, do you have to? You know what I'm saying?
No, I
Because
get what you're saying.
if you making the kids,
Right,
and then
right.
I gotta now, what you mean? I gotta give up.
Well,
also,
to be fair,
I gotta give up my
Vision
dad.
did not consent to being in several sitcoms that he did not control.
hold on,
He did not
bro.
consent to being in the
No,
Hex.
he wasn't even alive.
Hold on
He wasn't even alive.
Bruh. This is why Vision turned white and flew away. Vision was
Fuck
going
them
through.
kids.
Vision was like, wait a second.
It was crazy too. Because he had the turtleneck and chain right before.
I'm a dad, and I'm glad that he
The
turned white
Vishon
and flew
meme.
away.
Yeah.
Because if he'd have turned
Black
black,
Vision? Yeah, man.
Can you imagine Black Vision?
Right.
Like,
Kids,
like
Oof.
But it would be way funnier because can you imagine Black Vision waking up? He's like, who these white kids in my house?
like he eats some cinnamon toast crunch. What the fuck
Wait,
is this?
but here's the
That's
thing.
not mine.
Because
Those are
Vision,
maybe
I
some-
guess, is white because he has a white voice.
The
Do you
mountains of
think he would have felt
Caucasus.
away if Billy and Tommy were black?
That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
That would be interesting to be like they obviously they have the kids in WandaVision and we see them with the kids and all of that stuff.
Right.
But just to let you know, it's not too much longer after the kids are around and Vision goes, this is too much for me. Okay. Vision has a
When he
midlife
fights with
crisis.
himself.
Fights with himself. Okay, and then he leaves.
The struggles of fatherhood.
The struggles of fatherhood. I don't know.
If I'm doing Vision Quest, Disney Plus pitching you on this,
Go for
I
it.
think Billy and Tommy
Should be looking for their dad.
should be looking for their dad, and when they find Vision and open the door, he got a whole new robot family. He got little Vinny, like
That actually would be pretty
You got
great.
Vision
and
Junior.
it'd be even better if, like, because there's a Westview and Eastview.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
do it all like he didn't even move that
Oh,
far
he's
away.
about
He's
to- He got two pennies crossed out. What's actually interesting
Across
you say
town,
that.
out of town.
They get to Vision and Vision is at like a flag football game for one of his sons. Come on.
And it looks just like Vision.
Well, no, it's because there is like one of the Young Avengers is like a little teen
Yeah,
Vision.
Tom King
Yeah.
did a whole
Yeah.
run where there's like Lil Visions, Vision Puppy. Here's the thing: if I'm Billy and Tommy, can you imagine Billy just goes full Scarlet Witch on the Vision family?
Nah,
Okay,
I
willing to
feel
kill
like
him?
I feel like Billy and Tommy be like, yo, you know, things happen. You thought we were all dead. You know what I'm saying? So you moved on. It is tough, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that's my half brother, half sister. We love y'all. You know.
Question about Tommy. He can inherit, you can make any body you want for him, right?
Oh my God.
Like who would we want to see? Like Tommy could be Soldier Boy. He could get the role.
A-Train?
A-Train could come in. Why not? Why not have a black? Why not have him? Why not? They going, we trying to have diversity. Why
Yeah,
not
but you
have,
make
Have diversity?
But you make the athletic guy, the
Speed.
speed guy, the black guy.
right? Are you following? Yes. like
Catch up, Jomi. Come on.
like he
I gotta speed up.
he
Yeah.
runs fast. So
Jesus
let's get
Christ.
somebody.
I
Right.
will say, I feel like they didn't really think about this because how old were Billy and Tommy?
They were kids.
Like 10?
Yeah,
12?
Maybe, yeah. No,
So this is a
12.
10-year-old now in like a 16, 17-year-old's body.
Yeah.
A little weird.
I mean, the empty vessel.
Weird.
He was a wandering
Let me tell you
spirit.
something. Let me guys tell you
Well, he
something.
was his bar mitzvah, right? So he's 13.
That
Mhm.
motherfucker don't look 13. He looked like he's in his
So
20s.
he's 16 now. Yeah.
Yeah, he not 13, dog.
Well,
That's a
I
game.
mean, at his bar mitzvah, he would have been.
That's
but
a-
Yeah,
that's
that's
not
around
13.
13.
Even when
Yeah.
I was watching that shit, I'm like, this
Like, that's no
motherfucker-
13-year-old.
don't
No.
look 13.
He don't look 13,
I
bro.
want to say something real quick to the tribe and the community, man. Shout out to the bar mitzvahs. If y'all never been to a bar mitzvah,
Oh,
It's great.
buzz.
It's a blast.
It's
a great
fucking
time,
nuts.
man.
Tell you something. I never. Maybe we talked about this. Have we talked about my crisis of character with the bar mitzvahs when I was 13?
When you were
Never
13?
discussed this.
What happened?
Is this when you wanted a bar mitzvah?
I did. Well, what happened was, a lot of my classmates were Jewish kids, and at 13, they have a bar mitzvah. So I'm going to these bar mitzvahs, and I'm like, yo, this shit is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's a great party.
What the fuck I'm talking about? I come back home, I turn 13. Dad's like, here's a football. I'm like, nigga, where the motherfucking, are we renting out the Centralplex?
Where's the DJ?
Like, what's going on, man?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus got some work to do. Because on the other side of the block, they got a, they
You could have had a quinceañera. You
like,
could have.
like on the other side of the block,
Vans Quince would
they
have been
going
great.
fucking
That'd have been
up.
funny.
Okay, it's going crazy. They got a movie themed bar mitzvah. They got a Star Wars themed bar mitzvah. I'm going to, and then I come back here. Happy birthday! Here's a football. They got footballs at school. Okay, what we doing?
Your dad got you a football as a present?
When I was 13 years old, he got me a football.
Well,
Yeah, I mean after that, the present stopped.
oh,
Really?
okay.
Yeah, he looked at me at 14 and was like, I'm too old for that. Go get a job.
14.
Get a job at 14?
He looked at me. He looked at me.
What are you
was
going to
like-
do at
I was like,
14?
It was
Man.
my
What
birthday.
happened to child labor laws,
It was
man?
like this was such a funny conversation. It was like now I know that there were some kids out there who didn't even get this, but it was my it from my dad. It's facts.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
Do you guys know that? First of all, can we talk about what happened on the Reddit?
You can talk about it.
You can talk
about
Do
it.
we really?
Okay,
want to?
So we have to talk about what happened on the Reddit. Okay, we have to. First of all, is everybody aware before we get into the Krypto the Super Dog? By the way, everybody getting uncomfortable about this is not going to make me do anything but talk about it more.
It's not
okay. Are you guys aware of what happened on the Reddit? You're aware. You don't know, Aleya? Do you know what happened on the Reddit? Okay, so I would like to say thank you to the Reddit real quick. I would like to say thank you to the Reddit because the Reddit helped me reunite with someone who is almost certainly my sister. All right, there was a post made on the Reddit by somebody, in case you didn't know this, there was a post made by somebody on the Reddit, and they were saying that they thought that they were related to me. Mm-hmm. This happens to be someone who, after we've all put it together, looks to be a child of my father's. Mm-hmm. All right, I want to make sure everybody know this. Okay. I put this on there, and it happened in the Midnight Boys lore. 2 things I want to commend the Reddit on. Number 1, when this post was made, they deleted the post because they thought that it would cause me harm and bring me trauma. I and my family really appreciate that. And 2, when I wanted to explore it, the Reddit itself provided me the what I needed to go and explore and get in touch with my sister and talk with her and figure it out. And it's not the easiest thing for my family, but I do appreciate that humanity won in that situation. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. Last thing I'll say. Yeah. I love my father. I love my father from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet. I know who my father was. I know what my father was capable of, a little bit more so now than I did before he passed away. But nothing changes that. It's life. Shit happens. We move on. You can't have enough family. You can't. Mm-hmm. And, if this lady, whose name I will not say, wants to come down and embrace us and everything that we have going on in South Louisiana, we are more than happy to have her do that. I don't think she knows what she's getting herself into, but we're more than happy to have her do it. But I will say this, of all of this stuff, there's one fucking revelation that is chief among them all. Mm. I did not know my father was a milkman.
Oh, I knew. I was waiting.
I did not know my father was a milkman like that.
Was he a confirmed milkman, or was this just he was sampling the milk?
I think,
sampling the milk is crazy. I'm sorry for her.
I would like a taster.
Sorry, that was my.
I would imagine. 1%. I don't know. I doubt this was like a one-time thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I doubt this was a one-time thing. So it's like he had to be Jomi. I feel a little bit different. What? Like I feel a little bit different. I get it now. Like I come from a line of milkmen.
Whoa! It's not confirmed that. You come from a long line of milkmen.
Is 1 point a line also?
Yeah, it's just one line.
Well, it's the starting point of a line.
Okay.
And so like I just was.
Are you saying that you're assuming that there's other white family, like half white, half black, whatever?
What if he got like a whole fucking?
If y'all had the United Nations and you had like a Japanese brother, just be like, hey,
the colors of Benetton ad.
And this is the last thing I say. It's like, I will say that I've been getting my ass kicked with this white shit for the last couple of years. When I went on Ancestry.com and saw what was on one side of the family, and it's a bunch of.
You said this before. You said the story.
You gotta know what a chime is. You gotta know what a chime is.
Come on, bro.
I was trying to keep it real with y'all.
And I ruined it?
I can't do it around Steve. Steve was like, I can't do it around Steve.
Like, yeah?
We gonna give y'all literally 5 minutes of nerd news and then we gotta go.
Okay.
Charles.
All right, so James Gunn revealed Krypto this week, and let's say it was met with a lot of
mixed
reviews, aggravation. He told a beautiful story about how he adopted a dog over the pandemic, and essentially, while he was writing the script for Superman, he was like, it would be crazy if this dog that I have, who was a rescue, came from a hoarding situation, had superpowers because he has so many behavioral issues. How do we love him? Influenced the script. I'm assuming the photo that James Gunn released on social media is of one of the dogs that is going to play Krypto. Mm-hmm. And essentially people were pissed. They're like, that's not really Krypto. Krypto's a Labrador. Krypto's this, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, God damn, y'all, here's the thing. This is how I know the incels are fucking mad. Because they just don't hate women and black people. Now they're coming after the dogs.
Dog breeds.
You know what I'm saying? So, Van, I have to ask you this.
Krypto.
You've been very critical about James Gunn's Superman, even though we haven't seen a trailer.
Skeptical,
What are your
I'd
feelings?
say.
Skeptical. What are your feelings on Krypto? Is it too corny? Hitting the right note? How are you feeling?
I was surprised.
Interesting.
In what way?
I was surprised that we're going to Krypto in this particular time. However, it actually helped crystallize my thoughts about the movie.
In what way?
And they're more positive than they ever will be. I think that what James Gunn is going for, even the picture of Krypto, Superman and Krypto sitting there together, it looks very hopeful. It looks very hopeful. He said he wants Superman to be a Superman that you can hug, and you want to hug that picture. I'm obviously obsessed with dogs.
Yes.
And so it's kind of cheating a little bit, right?
Absolutely.
But coming from the man who made Guardians 3,
So wait, can I ask you, if I'm being
Is he
super
gonna kill
cynical,
the
because
dog?
I don't hate the Krypto reveal. I think I would like to see Krypto in a movie. The cynical part of me, though, is I'm like, this is going to be the third time James Gunn has essentially used this trick. And I think it is a very, very
Animal
good
trick.
manipulative.
He's done it in Guardian. Honestly, all of the Guardians. He's done it with Baby Groot. We got to see Baby Rocket. There's always a cute thing. Suicide Squad. Did you forget Lil Starro? Lil Cutie? Right? Am I forgetting?
No Starros, yeah.
There was Starros in there.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Wasn't he there was a little like Starro guy?
Sure,
Am I
there was.
misremembering that?
I don't remember.
Starro was not cute in Suicide
I mean, not
Squad.
the big.
Not the
Not the
big
Not the
one.
big one. I thought there was a mini baby one.
I can't remember.
Wait, no. That might have been in the comic books.
You
Anyway.
just fucking incepted that. You made that up.
No,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
there was a
You
Justice
wishful
League
thinking
run
of Starro.
where Batman has a new Robin and it's a mini Starro.
Oh, wow.
So I forgot.
Put that in
So
your mouth. Okay, I get it. It's okay.
sorry, James Gunn, but does the cuteness thing, is it a trick where we're just like, damn, it's too easy? Because I like Krypto. I want to see Krypto, but I do feel like it's the Pixar thing where I'm like, you're trying to make me
I
cry.
don't know. It's kind of like a pitcher having, his signature pitch, a knuckleball, a go-to four-seam fastball. You know what I mean? It's just like, I know this is going to get these guys out. He's going to swing on this one, right? That's so he's literally playing the hits.
But here's the thing, you don't get points for a dog. If you put a dog in the movie, if you put a puppy in the movie, I'm allowed that.
But if you do it, you got to do it well, though. You can't just
It don't even matter. I've seen some shitty movies with dogs in them, and I'm just like, this stuff is...
I respect the Beethoven films, first of all.
Beethoven is classic.
They were trying to kill Beethoven in that movie. It's crazy.
Which
They were trying to
the
kill
50th one?
The
Yeah.
fucking doctor was
Yeah.
trying to
Was
do
it still
experiments
Beethoven
on
at the time?
Beethoven. When you go back and watch
I mean, not the
Beethoven, the
original,
shit
but
is
it
fucked up. Like the doctor was trying to fucking
Why
whatever.
would
I
I
don't want
want
to
to
get into
see this
Beethoven.
now?
But
It was an evil doctor.
Honestly, they were mean to Airbud, too.
it's
Airbud's
fucking over
Whoa!
these dogs.
We need to do a dog draft.
That's good.
Movie dogs?
Movie
No,
dog.
just movie, TV show dogs.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
dogs.
Scooby,
Dogs in
probably.
media.
Scooby, Snoopy, going fucking high. Clifford, the
Lassie.
big red dog.
Benji, the hunted.
Scrappy.
Benji, don't
Scrappy.
ever
Nobody's
fucking hate
drafting
on
Scrappy.
Benji.
Who's
Scrappy is the fucking man.
What?
No.
Scrappy Doo?
Scrappy Doo
The
sucks.
streets.
Whoa.
Scrappy
We
Doo's
talking about,
Scrappy
we
Doo's
talking about
cool.
Scrappy, Scooby's little friend, his little homie, his little cousin.
Yeah.
The annoying motherfucker?
The one that can actually fight and about that action?
Yeah.
Oh, I can tell y'all not from the hood.
Yeah, no, Scrappy. No, I like Scrappy.
Scrappy's the man, bro.
There might be a
In our dog draft, you would draft.
No, it's too many picks before Scrappy, but
Exactly.
but Scrappy cool.
He's
though.
on a first round. So according to Scoobypedia,
He's his
I think
little
Scrappy
cousin.
got the show canceled or something like that. Like they had to move all the way away from Scrappy.
To Superman, I don't want to overfixate on the Krypto of it all. When I saw Krypto, I was like, really, first movie we're doing Krypto. Like, but it seems like you could say that about anything. First movie we're doing the whole Justice League.
But that's
First movie we're doing. It seems like James Gunn is not leaving any proverbial bullets in the chamber
I'm with
for
it,
this
though.
movie.
I'm with it too, because this wouldn't surprise me if we weren't having seemingly every DC hero under the sun in this movie. And okay, well, in some sense, yes, throw it on the pile. And it's also kind of setting a precedent of hey, let's have this big extravaganza, exploding confetti of a showcase for the DC property and IP for this Superman flagship. And then I'll tell you what, no other DC movie needs to have an egregious cameo ever because they'll have done it all in this movie.
I don't think these are egregious though.
But my
Maybe
thing is-
not.
but I tend to agree. I think all these people have like places in the story, the entire thing.
Sure.
But this is a Superman movie, right? It's not a Guardians movie where there's like 6.
And I don't think that we'll be
characters in it.
losing. Like, I don't think James Gunn's going to take his eye off the ball when it comes to making a Superman.
I
movie.
don't know, man. You got like I want to be very clear. I think James Gunn can do this. He's done it. But when you got like Hot Girl, Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, Lois, Lex, there's a lot of people that need to ball. Maybe like obviously Superman is the centerpiece, but like
Hot Girl don't need the ball.
But but if she's gonna be in a movie, if she's gonna be in a movie 5 minutes, why sit there and be like Hot Girl's in a movie?
He did this with Suicide Squad though. He had a bunch of motherfuckers and got rid of them.
No, but like
And it
we
was
don't
still
care about
good.
those guys though. I mean, I guess we don't care about Hot Girl,
So
but like
all I'll say is I think the reason I have faith in James Gunn is because, at the end of the day, a lot of these DC directors, they like, well, in the second movie, I'm gonna do this. And when I did it, and it's just kind of like, hey, let's not worry about the second movie.
Yeah.
If these are the characters, if he wants to put Krypto in his Superman movie, like, don't wait until Superman 2, because there might not be a Superman 2 at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
Play with what you got.
come on. I like Krypto.
I like Krypto too. I would
I like Krypto. I like the idea of Krypto.
You don't get points for
I
it,
draft
though.
Scrappy
Yeah, I just
over
be
Krypto though.
I don't hell no.
Yeah.
Scrappy over Krypto?
You're tripping.
All right,
I just want to see how the minutes get distributed. That's really all about it. Like I can't wait for the Superman movie. I'm not a hater like you. I think the suit looks fine. We have to see what it looked like. But at the end of the day, I'm excited to see what it looks like. There's a lot of players on the team. You're going to play 5 at a time. Got to see what
I don't think we've ever needed a trailer for a movie more than this one.
Yeah, we'll probably get a Super Bowl. Look, they're doing a lot. And once again, we've talked about this. Maybe building a world around Superman is better than building a world from Superman.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a better way. James Gunn is on a pretty unassailable run. When was the last time he did something bad?
I didn't
love
really fuck
Guardians
with
too.
his Suicide Squad movie, but it was quality.
I didn't
Like,
really care for Guardians 2 that much.
but here's the thing.
Fair enough.
None of those movies to me suck.
Popularity
Which is the
matters.
thing where it's like James Gunn hasn't made a bad superhero movie.
No,
He's made superhero movies that I don't like, I don't like this as much as the other one, but like quality wise, I'm
yeah.
like-
No, he's a hell of a filmmaker.
Yeah.
He's an incredible
Well,
filmmaker.
That's it for us. Okay, it's over. Like it's a lot of podcasting. We've done a lot. Aleya is fucking sick of it. She's over there going crazy. She's like, enough of this. Oh, Aleya, real quick. Have you seen Caddo Lake? I was asked to ask you this.
By who?
Have you seen Caddo Lake?
Who's
I know what this
asking
is.
you?
You're not a real fan.
Aleya, I was asked to ask you if you've seen a movie called Caddo Lake.
I haven't, but I will be watching it tonight.
Okay, so you watch Caddo Lake. All right.
Our man, that's
Is
our
there,
man.
is
Dude,
there, is there a
what?
certain
This is
someone
so
in that
ominous.
movie? Is there a certain someone in that movie?
Oh, also, shout out to the Midnight Collective. Aleya, did y'all get Aleya zine?
Did.
Yes, the
I was
Herd.
there.
Herd magazine out now, one of the most beautiful cooking magazines you will ever fucking see. Shout out Aleya. Killing it.
Yeah, man.
Aleya, you really care about food.
I do, yeah.
She's a foodie.
She's a big time foodie. Care about the things that you say you care about and support people's movies.
Well, shout out to my boy.
Yeah.
I'll support you.
Wow. Ooh, yeah. Oh, daddy. All right. We gotta go. Friday, tune in to the new episode of House of R. House of R. I'm reading Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Oh boy.
How's it going?
It's good. I'll be honest with you. It's a lot easier to follow than some of the other stuff.
It seems to be a bit of a straightforward
This is
story.
straightforward. Hedge Knight, little nigga.
Great.
Nothing more.
Amen.
Some of that
Dunk
other stuff.
And then
Egg.
Dunk and egg. I'm really enjoying it. Yesterday, Min Edition gave you y'all yelled about it episode. Kermah was in it. Tomorrow, House of R will give you their deep dive into the latest episode of Agatha. Next week, Venom is coming. Our producers are Steve, the architect Ahlman, Jonathan, the Midnight Master Rider. Kermah is on it. Aleya, O'Brien, sort of, Zenieris. Gotta be supportive. Jomi, Adeniran on social, hashtag Jomi the Good Witch. Additional production from the Watcher himself, Arjuna Ramgopal. Chuck, take us out.
The Midnight Boys love dogs. We cannot lie. But R.I.P. to Paddington and Elmo. Wish you didn't have to die.
What's going on, buddy?
I got that song in my head.
What song are you? Define Gravity?
That's a catchy one.
It's the only
Define
song.
It's time to start the podcast.
Okay.
Is catchy?
Define Gravity from Wicked?
It's wait. That's the Gravity song. That's the
Gravity
Wicked song. That's the Wicked song.
Yeah.
though.
And it still sucks.
Wow. This
Y'all
is
fuck with Wicked?
not
Sorry,
really,
it's
but
a
my
fucking
sister was
fantastic musical.
big into.
Yeah, all right, it's time to start.